여보세요. I'm back with another boy group. This time I have chosen NCT Dream, and specifically I wanted to check out the video for Hello Future. Now, NCT Dream is a subunit, I understand, of a group called NCT, and this is SM, so same production outfit as aespa and Red Velvet. Now, the reason that I picked NCT Dream's Hello Future is because I believe there's maybe some connections to aespa and also to Red Velvet, which I'll get into again in another Irene and Sugi video, right, for another song. But it seems to be that there is a connection between these different groups and their concepts and what it is that they're doing, right? So in fact, I think it's mostly to do with the concept of KWANGYA, you know, and I think that was originally mentioned in something to do with NCT, not even aespa, right? Some of these events even predate the debut of aespa, which is, you know, it's not entirely impossible. So you have to wonder when people who come up with these concepts actually write the stuff out and in a substantive form and sort of start to storyboard or plan for what it is that they're gonna do, you know. So I just thought it was interesting. There's a video I've seen that sort of explains it, I guess, theory behind what the connection could be, because it's not really been clearly defined yet. And maybe I'll check out that video too. I just don't, you know, want to get in trouble. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to steal anybody else's thunder or whatever. But it's super interesting stuff anyways. So going to check out some more of this other side of the K-pop genre here with the boy groups. We're going to get back into that with NCT Dream's Hello Future. Checked out Stray Kids, which is from JYPE. It was a solid track, solid group, fun video, lots of, you know, like I can understand it, right? I respect it. It's good stuff. So let's see, because SM, you know how SM is on another level, man. I mean, they're so good, right, with the stuff that they make. So let's check out NCT Dream's Hello Future.
Big dreams and big thrills, flying high 터무니없는 상상해봐. 네 눈앞에 달려들고 있는 별 나같이 불을 태워봐. 시작이라는 걸 넌 믿을 수 있겠니? 이제야 사랑을 할 것 같아. Ready or not 가는 거야 나를 믿어. Soldiers knocking doors down, yelling now. 천천히 갔던 시간들은 모두 뒤로 보내. 가슴이 소리치네. 달려가 날아봐. If you're rockin' with me, oh oh. Here we go. Satellite radio. 내 미래 전해줘. 온 세상과 저 광야 위로. 후회 없이 사랑했다고 말하게. 기다렸어 어서 와. 어디든 we're coming together. 아무 걱정하지 마. 즐길 거야 Hello Future. 너를 만나 같이 더 빛나게. We on the way up. 아름다운 시간만 쌓자. 미래에 너를 좋아하게 됐어. 경계 위로 손을 맞대면 우리 너무 닮아 있어. 모두 찾게 될지 결국 웃게 될지 지금부터 운명이라고 해. Bang bang bang. Fire 자욱한 연기 속에 살아남은 그 작은 꽃처럼. Straight facts. 같은 시간 속에 너를 사랑하고 있어. Here we go 날개를 펼치고 또 꺾이고 다쳐도 누구보다 강한 너잖아. 미래의 미래도 어제던 미소개 ready to clap back 어디 머지않은 peace 아픈 시간 네 담을 잡기를 바라고 또 원했지 who you gonna believe Keep it also right 어디든 we're coming together 아무 걱정하지 마 So we have a future 너를 만나 같이 더 빛나게 We on the way up We on the way up 아름다운 시간을 삼아
Interesting concept for sure. The original NCT group, right? This spin-off group, NCT Dream, I believe they started off as like the sort of like youthful, younger group that was, kind of like the equivalent to like a ITZY or something like that, right? Just because the members were younger, and then they got older, and once they reached a certain point, they decided to sort of rebrand and change up the image a little bit to try and be a little bit more, mature, I guess. There's a lot of members in this group, and they do have some higher sitting vocal registers, but they don't sound bad. There's some really strong vocal delivery on many of these parts, especially that line leading into the chorus. Solid choreography. The chorus is a very bright sound, and it even says so in the lyrics about making something that's bright. It's an interesting concept. I didn't catch a direct reference to KWANGYA, but sometimes these things are more thematic, maybe with elements in the aesthetic, with the visual representations and things. Perhaps the whole idea of going to some place higher was supposed to be a reference to the concept of what KWANGYA was, some place that's more creative and more free, as opposed to some place that's more grounded and sort of harsh, with them talking about the soldiers kicking down doors and things about war and stuff. And it's a very solid performance. It's in 4, and I notice a lot of play throughout the different vocal and mixed parts. It's 4, and there's a lot of emphasis at times on the 8th note subdivisions and then into 16th note rhythms. But it's good. It develops really well as a song. There was great delivery on the rap parts as usual. I mean, these are just characteristic things of the K-pop genre that I'm have become aware of now. But it's another solid performance. They had actually, like, the choreography in this video was very strong. It was one of the stronger aesthetic parts. Like there's more going on. There's more coordinated, synchronized movements that are taking place. man, it's interesting, you know. It's interesting. This has more of a I guess with the vocal ranges, you know, more there's more of that, like I said, that higher end that's going on, as opposed to like what I heard in Stray Kids, a little bit more closer to that falsetto range, and but it's not bad. It's the performance of it is very well executed. Okay, so let me go back and let me see if I can't get a little bit more into the mix here, just to see what specifically they're doing.
Big dreams and big thrills, flying high, 터무니없는 상상해봐. 네 눈앞에 달려들고 있는 별.
So you know, very much laying into the rap parts here, with some lower to mid-range sort of vocal registers, whatever that crazy sort of bass hit is. It's man, it's some crazy kind of distorted synth plug-in that's like, it feels like it's shifting, you know. It hits at a certain boom, but then it goes up and it kind of shifts or you know, sweeps through this different pitches that are on the opposite end of it, and it's fairly minimalistic. Like there's one, the initial hit, the one boom, and then later on like maybe the 3, I think you hear a little like it's a very light percussive hit, and the rap part is really just filling in all the space here. Snare comes in and the kick, right? Now they're laying down an actual groove here. And the vocal registers go up for some melodic work. In and out, back and forth between some lighter or higher sitting register vocal melody work, and then the lower to mid rap sections that are going on here. Lots of contrast packed into what you would just call like a verse section, right? As that mix underneath it starts to become a little bit more substantive, a little bit more sophisticated. There's more things that go on than the initial sort of start, and the choreography reflects that too. Is they're kind of like the two guys who are rapping started off, and then you know they do that with the bass hit, and then you see the guys on the ground are like, you know, like reacting to it or whatever, as if they have to be animated or, you know, resuscitated, I guess. So that run with me part or whatever it was, and that was the like when they started to touch the very higher like falsetto end of the register range there, right? But it's not bad. It's really not bad. This is a very bright sounding chorus. So yeah, in the percussion, you know, you've got this very deep kick and the 808 that sounds like they're stacked right on top of each other. There's a snare hit and there's a clap that's in there too that are also paired up together. And then we have some sort of synth bass, maybe that's hitting the roots of these different chords in the progression here. And what they're doing is overall very bright sounding over this mix that's going on. Now see, we shine brighter together. That's exactly what they're doing in the vocal part. So that that's it's, man, it's right at the top of that, you know, like maybe that alto range. It's like before breaking into falsetto range, it's like right at the roof of that, and there's a lot of breath behind it, so it's very, very strong.
미래에 너를 좋아하게 됐어 경계 위로 손을 맞대면 우리 너무 닮아 있어 모두 찾게 될지 결국 웃게 될지 지금부터 운명이라고 해 Bang bang bang
Very good rap parts, rhythms in there.
그 작은 꽃처럼 Straight facts 시간 속에 너를 사랑하고 있어 Here we go
So that was interesting. You know, the vocal registers in the beginning were much lower, right? And then the way that last part went through there, that guy had the highest sitting register, and it was a little bit more melodic. Again, a lot of contrast packed into like what you would refer to as just one section, or what you would consider one section, with maybe two phrases, you know, overall, like together, maybe one phrase made up of two parts, and then another phrase made up of about three parts. Interesting, very smart, very clever, very sophisticated type of rhythmic pattern construction that's going on.
Here we go 날개를 펼치고 또 꺾이고 다쳐도 누구보다 강한 너잖아
See, these are some of the most interesting registers that are going on in this part right here. They're so like around the mid section. It's a very interesting range for these vocals to sit at. See the synchronicity in a lot of these parts right here with the choreography. It makes it a very strong part of the performance. Yeah, these guys have interesting voices. This guy sounds clean, man. Yeah, great vibrato, great control. Really, like the tone is very soft, sort of narrow, but there's a lot of control behind it. There's a lot of air pushing through, making those sort of fast vibratos that are going on. It's a very competent performance, and he's about to do that again. He's gonna go up and hit the roof of this one sort of stretch before you break into that head voice and that falsetto voice, and he's gonna like come right up against the roof of that. It's strong, man. It's good. Great syncopation. Very good syncopation. That's a crazy high note, dude. That's a crazy synth bass sound that just sweeps, and that's why it sounds all. It sounds almost like a, guitar feedback almost. Like when you get this weird like thing. It's almost like it's something that happens by accident when you're performing a sort of live electric guitar thing, but the way that crazy bass hits and then sweeps throughout it's such a weird distorted sound, but it's cool. It's a cool sound. What an interesting mix, man. What an interesting mix. Very competent, sophisticated rhythms that are going on in the vocal parts. Impressive vocal work. Impressive A very interesting registers, very interesting tones and timbres of voices. Very good vocal control. Insane. I'm telling you that when that guy hits that high note, it's sitting right there before you break over into the head voice and start getting into that falsetto sort of range. It's solid, dude. It's solid. Like it's a good track. It's a good sound. Very well written too. Very well written. I don't know if this group also, like Stray Kids, is more involved with the production, with all the writing and the composition and the mixing and all that. Because if not, it's always just so, man. Because it'd be really hard to write parts like these if you didn't like know what they sounded like, or if you weren't very familiar, right? Because otherwise you just have to be like on another level with it, where you can hear maybe like one or two tracks and then say, I got the perfect part for that guy right there. It's hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. So it would be interesting to find out, if how much involvement they have personally as the members on that end to that effect. But solid performance. The NCT group, of which these members are a spin-off, the NCT Dream, was it crazy, like 20 members or something in it? I mean, it's a huge, massive group. Like, how many members are in this one? What was it, like 7? Like, no, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 members. And this is a spin-off of NCT. It's a sub-unit, a smaller group, right? But they have, so many different sounds, and can cover the entire range from bass up, or probably say like tenor up onto that alto range, going into some nice falsetto. The falsettos were very clean. They were very healthy sounding, right? It didn't sound thin, stressed, strained. Like I'm really sort of narrowing the voice to try and get it, like straining on the vocals to get it. It didn't sound like that. It sounded very healthy, full, strong falsettos. Like I said, a lot of control behind the voice with the vibratos and things. It's SM, so it's a very strong, very competent, controlled performance based off of very, very sophisticated and intelligent type of composition, writing, and arrangements. Man, it's like, what the heck do you do with 20 members? You know what I mean? Because I can't think of anything that's comparable except for like a choir. Because that's a lot of voices. It just seems like it would be so busy. This is very busy. The 7-member group with all these different parts going on, it's very, very busy, but it's also very streamlined, very smooth. So, like I said, the contrast, there's so much of it packed into just a section, a phrase grouping within a section. It's very intelligent. It's very smart. It's SM for sure, man. It's SM. Like, well, let's see. There's another group to check out for the that sort of SMCU connection to contextually with what they have going on with there. We'll get into that a little bit later, but NCT Dream Hello Future. Very, very actually impressive work. Like like it always, like the K-pop stuff always does. There's no point in having any expectations or anticipating anything in particular. Just just go with it, you know what I mean? Like just sit back and just see what's coming. But that was solid, man. NCT Dream, Hello Future. It was solid, cool, interesting, sophisticated work here. All right, man. All right. Well, again, I'm very curious to see what else, the group has. It's never ending, right? The K-pop well is just sort of bottomless. But that's cool. That's cool. All right, NCT Dream, Hello Future. Another solid boy group performance.